Welcome back to DIY Golf Cart Garage. We're continuing with our Pawpaw's Tree Climber golf cart here, our special project. This is a 2003 EZGO TXT. Now today what we're going to be doing is installing some lights. I've got an LED light kit, both front and rear lights. What we're going to do is start on the back here. They have nice templates and instructions for us. What the instructions actually tell us is to measure over 7/8 of an inch from this radius and 1.5 inches up to the center. So what we're going to actually do is, just because this is a pretty good radius here, I've got some 1-inch masking tape and I'm going to actually put me a line down there so that I can measure, get a little bit closer. I'm going to do the very same thing on the other side just so we can get them pretty much even. So next time you see me, I'm going to have this portion cut out, a line down through here. We'll mark it off, set it in place, and get started with the Dremel. Okay, what I've done here, that piece of masking tape going up the side here, right on that curvature there, I've got about 3/4 of an inch from the edge of the bagwell to the edge of this tape. And then on this other edge here is where I'm going to align the template. I got it going straight up this edge, and I came over here and right underneath the body, right underneath the little EZGO, I've measured up 1.5 inches. Got a little piece of tape there which holds it in place for me. Now I'll just mark it out, take this particular template, put it on the other side, made it up this line because you've got to actually turn it over right where the EZGO gets close to the body. I'll measure up 1.5 inches there, tape it, mark it again, and then come over here with the Dremel and cut them out, and we'll get our lights in. Also, always remember, when you mark it and you get with your Dremel, cutting it out, go to the inside of the line that you draw. It's always better to have it just a little bit small and have to trim it to make it fit versus having it too big and having to get a whole new body. So let me get to market. What I've done here is I drew inside the template in order not to make the opening too large. It's easier to have to trim a little bit more off than to try to hide an area where I cut too much off. Place the light into the opening and press in firmly to make sure you've got a good, solid, snug fit. To make sure you're putting the correct light into the correct side, on back of each light it should have an R for the right side, or passenger, and an L for the left side, or for the driver's side. Next, using provided Phillips head screws, center the light and install the screws, and you're done. The back lights are installed now, so we'll move around here to the front. On the driver's side here, and I've already cut out the template, which is a lot simpler than the back. There's no measuring, no guessing, no wondering if you got it centered correctly, because the outer lines follow along the body seams. So what I'm going to do on this one is take this upper left hand corner, find the top corner above and to the right of the EZGO emblem, grab me a piece of pre-cut tape and tape it on there. Across the top, I'll follow the body seam all the way around. Grab me another piece of tape, tape it down. Now when you do, This edge here will come down, follow the body line on the bottom. This seam here will come along with the body seam and come all the way down to the edge. Now I'll mark it, then take the template off, put it on the passenger side by flipping it upside down, tape it down, mark it off, and then we'll get started cutting. We've got the holes cut out now. Got these brand new lights we're putting in, but these are not just any lights. These are LED lights, and not just LED, but they're also height adjustable. Screw right here, you can tighten it up, adjust your height on your light beam, both sides, so you can get them both equal. We'll need that since we've actually raised the golf car up to have it pointed down. So what we'll do is we'll just set it inside the area here. Make sure that everything lines up on the corner. They did supply screws, so we'll go ahead and put the screws in and we'll get this thing mounted. Then we'll go over to the other side and do the same thing. At this point in this light kit installment, we've got the tail lights in, we've got our headlights mounted, and now what everybody seems is the hardest part is running the wiring. Actually, if you think about it, it's not that hard. Most of it is inside of the corrugated tubing. If you look at it, you've got some red ends. These red ends, these goes towards the back. Just think of your red as your tail lights. So we'll know we're going to run this to the back. Two other ends are white. These will run up towards the headlights. Then in the wiring, you've also got your positive lead, your ground, and your light switch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start here where I've mounted the voltage converter. There's a hole in the frame just in front of it. So the portion for this positive and negative lead coming up and the rear taillight portion, I'm going to bring up that portion of the harness up so I can run it towards the back. And the front portion, I'm going to run it through the frame, up underneath the front cowl, tie strapping it every chance I get to keep everything out of the way, because we don't want any branches to snag our harness, and plug them up to the lights. So let's get now before I forget, the light switch. I'm going to run it up and then out right here in this opening. I got a special project I'm working on just for this. We'll get it later, but for now, let's get this wire run. Okay, so far we've got our lights mounted. We've got all the wires run to the lights, and I've put the wiring harness everywhere I can tucked into the frame. And just to keep things clean and out of the way of debris, I've used a ton of tie straps. I like everything clean so that you can't actually see any wiring. What's left is these two cables that have come up here. We've got the one here with the fuse link. This is our positive lead that actually powers all the lights, and then the white wire here is our negative lead. What I'm going to do here is cut the ring terminal off and put a female end on it and plug this into our positive fuse block. This white wire, I'm actually going to extend it a little bit further, wrap it around the battery pack and bring it into the negative side of our battery pack. Just to get this done, Well, I hope today's episode on installing our light kit on Pawpaw's Tree Climber helped you, or our 2003 EZGO TXT. I hope it was very beneficial for you. If you have any questions or comments, or you have another part that you'd like to see us change out or upgrade, please be sure to let us know about that in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe, and thanks once again for visiting us here at DIY Golf Cart Garage.